I don't have my own column, I'm going to react to other people's columns. I'll tell you what I think is happening here. Okay, so it's titled, My Boyfriend is Too Close to His Ex-in-Laws. Okay, so I'm dating a divorced dad with 2 teenage girls, 16 and 14. They come visit their dad every weekend, which means on weekends we can't talk on the phone freely during the daytime. He's close to his daughters and values the limited time he has with them. Therefore, if he's going to visit me on weekends, it would be only after he coordinated his daughter's stupid schedules first, like when his daughters happen to be out of town. I feel like I have the leftover time for him with his daughter's visit. Duh. Like, okay. So at this point, I'm like, what's the problem here? You know exactly what you're signing up for. Oh, you want to be with a man who would ditch his daughters? Is that what you want? No, this is actually what you want. You want a man that gives a crap about his children and wants to like co-parent them. So, sorry, but you actually look bad, not him. We're in a long distance. Red flag, red flag. Now I assume that he's actually not divorced. He's probably married and he's cheating. That's my first. As soon as I read that, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Oh my God, y'all. Don't date long distance and don't date divorced men who are long distance. Those men are usually married. He's probably married. He's probably in bed next to his wife as he's texting you all the time, right? If this man lives in another town and unless you have stayed at his place and there's no sign of a woman and there's 2 bedrooms for teenage girls and like all the things line up, this man is probably married still. And even still, he could probably just be covering his base. Men are so creative. They have so much time and resources when it comes to deceiving women. They won't take us on a date and, plan stuff. But when it comes to deceiving us, they will like go the extra mile. We have long talks on the phone every other night. Sometimes he calls me at noontime during the weekdays. Oh, yeah, he's cheating. He's cheating. He's calling you from work. He's calling you when his wife is out busy taking their daughters to all the things because she's probably a soccer mom and probably overwhelmed and literally doing everything. And while she's gone, he's like, hey, babe. Hey, babe. And then on the other times, he's just calling you from work because that's the only time he can do that. I just feel that like when I'm more relaxed and can enjoy more time with him on the weekends, he's not as available as someone in a normal dating couple would be. Yeah, duh. Like, even if he's not cheating, girl, you're always going to be leftovers. And sorry, but like, as long as he's parenting, you should be. Chances are his ex-wife, if she's an ex, is probably already doing way too much. So if he's actually actively involved, good for him. Go find someone available. It sounds like you're emotionally unavailable and you're chasing after unavailable men to avoid the fact that it's actually you. Just a guess. Another thing that bothers me is that he was divorced 7 years ago, but his cell phone plan is still under his ex's family plan. Yes, because he's still married to her. I know economically the family plan is always cheaper, but I just can't understand if it's a sign of not cutting off his ex completely. He has a very good relationship with his ex-in-laws too, because they're still married. They have no idea he's cheating. Of course he has a good relationship with His will still designates his ex-mother-in-law to be his power of attorney. How do you know that? Also, he's still married. He also took invitations from his ex-sister-in-law to bring the girls on a family ski vacation. So even if he's not cheating and all this is legit, what's your problem? All this makes sense. These two are tied forever, which is why I tell y'all, do not have babies with trash. You're stuck with this trash forever. Even when they're 18. And you don't technically have to co-parent anymore. They still, if they're an awful person and a narcissist and all that stuff, they're still going to find a way back into your life. And if they're not, even if they're like a decent dude, you just weren't compatible, shouldn't be married, but we're friends and good co-parenting partners or whatever, y'all are linked forever. So if you're jealous of him being on a phone plan because it's probably cheaper that way, then you're going to have problems. My guess is maybe your dad was not available for you and you're used to a man who's not available, and this is a very comfortable situation for you. It's just comfortable. It's not fun. It feels awful, but it's familiar. Okay, so am I making a fuss? Or is what concerns me and makes me uncomfortable reasonable to worry about? Except for concerns above, he's a very tender, thoughtful, romantic, emotionally available person. Is he though? Because it sounds like he's not available. He already said he wanted to marry me 4 months after we met. Run! Run! Now I am convinced either A, he's cheating for sure, and let's get married. That means he's going to have an affair for years and years and years, and you will never marry you until he's done with her. Maybe he'll marry you, but then he'll cheat on you anyway, so blah. But now I'm like, yeah, okay. This is a man who's probably still married and is going to keep her. Oh, okay, even if not, any man who wants to literally jump from a long-term relationship with children into a whole new relationship and literally proposes 4 months into that new relationship, that man does not love himself. He doesn't know himself. He literally exploits women and runs from himself by losing himself in, relationships and relationships that benefit him, so he can probably keep doing whatever he wants while you're probably going to be, if he ever marries you, which he won't, you are going to be a step parent. You're going to be doing all this crap for these girls, but you won't get any credit for it. I know people who are stepmoms. I have a stepmom. If there's one thing I have learned about stepmoms is that they get crapped on more than anybody and anyone other than moms. Anyway, all mothers in any capacity get crapped on, but stepmoms have no legal rights. And if the mom hates him, you're going to pay for it. But anyway, oh my God, 4 months. God, he doesn't even know you. This man doesn't know how to be alone. Run! I frequently think about that. For the rest of his life, I need to share him with his 2 daughters who will have their own families and children, literally his grandchildren. This is inevitable. I am not sure if I'm willing to handle that or if I will handle it well. Is it a reason to break up? Yes! No brainer. No brainer here. Run, 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 run. Run and go to therapy. This is what this woman says. It sounds like you're asking me whether your boyfriend having kids is a deal breaker or not. And no one can answer that but you. I kind of like the answer here. It's like, look, not everybody can handle dating someone who's a parent. So that may not be for you. But this is the reality. And most people don't want to date people who are already parents because they already have something that's taking up so much of their time and attention, and you'll never be first. And they don't want to deal with the other parent forever. Have you met some of the exes of people? Because sometimes there is an ex that is a complete sociopath of any gender, and now you are married to that ex through him. And then she's like, look, if you don't want it, that's fine, but it is unfair for you to expect him to shift his priority and all this stuff for you. Girl, you don't even live in the same town as him. He doesn't even know you. He's not doing anything for you. He won't even call you, or visit you on weekends. When are you seeing this man? How are you seeing this man? Have you even met this man? Or is this all phone schmegs? Because that's what it's sounding like. Y'all, do not mess with divorced men. Don't mess with divorced men, especially newly divorced men, because either A, they're still married, or B, and they're cheating, or B, they will never resolve any of the issues that caused that first divorce because they never pause and do the hard work of looking inward and dealing with all their stuff. So now it's just going to keep, passing the buck, or, as Cecilia Regina says, kicking the can. I'm not going to read the rest because she gives pretty good advice, except for she seems to believe, I don't know. Whenever I see columnists give advice on stuff like this, I'm like, have you been on the dating apps? Have you dated? If you haven't dated in the last 5 years, 5, 6, 7 years, if you've been married for a long time or just haven't dated and you don't know how much men lie. And now that with dating apps, they can lie so much, but we can catch them because we're smart and we have the investigation skills of CIA agents and stuff. Do not do long distance. You're going to have to move for that dude. You're going to have to revolve your whole life around his kids. He's probably never going to marry you, if that's even what you want. But you're never going to see him. Go date other people. Cut this dude off. Not compatible, but go heal your therapy. Or go to therapy and heal your stuff. Go heal your stuff so you stop putting up with stuff like this. You deserve so much more. And it takes a lot of work on ourselves for us to even realize that. If you actually get that man, I guarantee you, chances are he's going to ruin your life. And if you want kids, forget about that. Don't believe these men, y'all.